Buried Alive, Episode 1. In a village named Awada, there lived a king named Ozo and a queen named Oluchi. They had a princess named Ada. Ada was a beautiful, elegant, and kind princess. Wherever she went, she spread love and greeted the villagers. The villagers always watched her in admiration. Princess Ada had two friends, Mmasi and Chika. Most times they could be mistaken as sisters because of their similar looks. Mmasi was the daughter of a farmer, and Chika was the daughter of a hunter. Princess Ada loved them both and would give them the most at times. Mmasi was a very hardworking, beautiful, and cheerful maiden. Most times, she'd tell the Princess Moonlight stories, and Princess Ada was fond of her. On the other hand, Chika was also a beautiful maiden but wasn't cheerful. Most times, she'd talk arrogantly to the palace mates. She tried to poison Princess Ada's mind against Mmasi, but the princess always avoided such conversations. This made Chika hate Mmasi even more. Chika has always held the notion that the princess loved Mmasi more than her. On a fateful day, Chika visited the palace and met Mmasi with the princess. She excused herself and pretended that she wanted to get something. When she sneaked into the king's chambers, she stole his golden cup. She took it and went to hide it in the palace flower vase. The next day, the whole palace was in chaos because the king couldn't find his golden cup. The king called for the villagers. The villagers were seen gathered in the palace when the king started. "My people, today is a bad day in our village. I went into my room this morning only to find out that my golden cup is missing. If you have seen anyone entering my chamber to steal, speak up now." Then Chika came out of the crowd and pointed at Mmasi. "My king, I saw her sneaking into your chambers yesterday, only to see her coming out with your golden cup." Mmasi watched in dismay. She spoke finally. "My king, please do not listen to Chika. I didn't enter your room yesterday. I only brought food for Princess Ada." The king ordered the guards to lock up Mmasi in the palace prison. Mmasi's parents and the princess began pleading for mercy, but the king turned a deaf ear to their cries. The princess visited Mmasi every day to give her food and kept pleading for Mmasi's innocence. A day before the judgment day, the princess invited Chika to the palace for questioning. "Are you sure of what you said about Mmasi? Because I have known Mmasi for years, and I am sure she cannot indulge in such an act," she said. "My princess, I'm sure about it, and I can't be lying. Mmasi is also my friend, but I can't deny what she has done," Chika replied. Judgment Day came, and the villagers were seen gathered at the palace when the king began. "My people, today is a sad day in our village. We have pressured the culprit to admit to her crime, but she still refused and is pleading not guilty." Mmasi's parents were seen in the background begging the king. Princess Ada was seated on her stool, crying too. The king continued, "I have come to an agreed judgment that Mmasi will be buried alive." "Hey!" the villagers shouted in exclamation. Princess Adama knelt down with Mmasi's parents. They were pleading for mercy from the king. While the palace guards carried Mmasi and were heading to the bush to bury her, they were being followed by the villagers with loud cries and mournings. When they got to the bush, the palace guards dug a grave and pushed Mmasi inside. She was still pleading when her parents arrived. They said their goodbyes, and Mmasi was buried alive. At the palace, the princess was still crying, and she was consoled by her mother and Chika. She was devastated and refused to eat. Months passed, and everything went back to normal, but Mmasi's parents were still mourning her demise. To be continued. Kindly hit the subscribe and like button so you don't miss out on the next part dropping soon on the TalesTrove. See you soon.